Welcome back to Awesome Possum Hobbies and Games. I am Chris, and I'm back with the Bloomburrow Commander deck. This one is Squirreled Away. Let's go ahead and open them up. Check it out. It's supposed to include a collector's sample pack and plus 3 legendary traditional foils. So 3 instead of the usual 2, which is nice. And of course, comes with a full border or borderless Hazel of Root Bloom. This particular deck is green and black, squirreled away. So it's all about squirrels. And of course it says, this deck is nuts. Let's open it up, check her out. Inside a little package is a cardboard box, which I could recycle, a collector's booster sample pack, and of course, here's the deck and a little fold out. I don't think many people actually bother with this, but little information is about the commander itself, and on the back side it talks about commander rules and how to play the deck. Squirrels just want to have fun. Stockpile a stack of snacks and squirrels with Hazel of the Root Bloom. With Hazel's ability, use all of the assorted tokens to add mana. You can cast more and bigger spells to stay ahead of the competition. This deck features a handful of squirrels synergies to turn those little rodents into fearsome force. Harvest some wins by creating copies of whatever kind of tokens best suit your strategy. All right, let's get into the deck. Of course, there's some punch out tokens. Yeah, just punch out tokens, put that straight into recycling. Along with that, get into the actual deck. Let's do things the easy way. Get the knife out. Start with the commander itself. Hazel of the Root Bloom. Green, black, and 2 generic for a 3/5 legendary creature squirreled druid. Tap, pay 2 life, tap X, untap tokens you control, add X mana of any combination of colors. At the beginning of your end step, create a token that's a copy of target token you control. If that token is a squirrel, instead create 2 tokens that are copies of it. Nice. The Odd Acorn Gang. For a black, a green, and 3 generic for 5/5 legendary creature squirrel warrior met with menace, trample, and reach. Squirrels you control have tap target squirrel gets +2/+2 and gains trample till end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Whenever one or more squirrels control deal combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. And of course, Grook, the Cursed Huntsman. This is one of the furry edition ones. A black, a green, and 4 generic for a 5 loyalty planeswalker. This one's a Gurk. For 0, you get to create 2 black and green wolf creature tokens with when this creature dies, put a loyalty counter on each Gurk you control. -3, to destroy target creature, draw a card. -6, you get an emblem, creatures you control get +3/+3 and have trample. Chittering Witch. This is actually a reprint. A green or a black and 3 generic for a 2/2 creature human warlock. When this card enters, create a number of 1/1 black rat creature tokens equal to the number of opponents you have. Pay a black and a generic. Sacrifice a creature. Target creature gets -2/-2 till end of turn. Oops, missed a card.
Insatiable Frugivore.
Or a black and 3 generic for a 2/4 creature rat berserker. When this card enters, create a food token, then you may exile 3 cards from your graveyard. If you do, repeat this process. A black and 3 generic, sacrifice X foods, creatures you control get +X/+0 and gain menace till end of turn. Next rare. Moonstone Eulogist. 2 black, 3 generic for a 4/4 creature bat warlock with flying, and whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you get to create a blood token. And whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy, and you gain 1 life. Swarmyard Massacre. Swarmyard Massacre is 2 black, 3 generic for sorcery. Create 2 1/1 green squirrel tokens, or creature tokens. Then each creature that isn't an insect, rat, spider, or squirrel gets -1/-1 till end of turn for each creature you control that's an insect, rat, spider, or squirrel. Hazel Brewmaster. Hazel's Brewmaster is 1 black, 3 generic for a 3/4 creature, squirrel, warlock, menace. When it enters or attacks, exile up to 1 target creature from a graveyard and create a food token. Foods you control have all activated abilities of all creature cards exile with this card. Woe Strider, it's a reprint, a black, 2 generic for a creature horror. It's a 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, you get 0/1 white goat creature token. Sacrifice another creature. Scry 1 and escape for 2 black, 3 generic and exile 4 cards from your graveyard. You can cast this card from your graveyard for escape cost instead. And then Woe Strider escapes with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. You make it a pretty good sized body. Saw in Half, a good reprint. This originally came out one of the unsets for a black and 2 generic for an instant. Destroy target creature. If that creature dies this way, its controller creates 2 tokens or copies of that creature, except its power is half that creature's power and the toughness is half the creature's toughness. Round up each time. Ogre Slumlord. 2 black, 3 generic for a 3/3 creature ogre rogue, and whenever another non-token creature dies, you get to create a 1/1 black rat creature token. Rats you control have Death Touch. Decree of Pain. For 2 black, 6 generic, sorcery, destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated. Draw a card for each creature destroyed this way. Cycling, 2 black, 3 generic. When you cycle Decree of Pain, all creatures you get -2/-2 until end of turn. Gorman's Talent, a green. It's an enchantment class. Gain the next level as a sorcery to add this ability. So level 1 is during your turn, artifacts you control are foods in addition to the other types, and pay 2, sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life. Level 2, one that costs 1 green, 2 generic. Whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, create a 3/3 raccoon creature token. Level 3, 1 green, 3 generic. Whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Rootcast Apprenticeship. A green, 3 generic for a sorcery. Choose 3. You may choose the same mode more than once. You may, for mode 1, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Mode 2, create a token that's a copy of target token you control. Mode 3, target player creates a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. Mode 4, target opponent sacrifices a non-token artifact. Squirrel of Squirrels. This is one of my favorite cards that came out of the Commander set. For a green and 2 generic, it's a 2/2 creature, Squirrel Scout. Has mirrored. So what mirrored is whenever this creature attacks, for each opponent other than the defending player, you may create a token that's a copy of the creature that's tapped and attacking, and that player and a planeswalker they control, or a planeswalker they control. Then do it again, exile those tokens at the end of combat. Whenever a Scurry Squirrel deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So this Scurry of Squirrels can get ridiculous. And Razor's Forerunner, this is a good reprint. It allows you to have those squirrels get out of control pretty fast. For the 3 green, 5 generic, it's a 7/7 creature boar. Vigilance, Trample, Haste, and whenever this card enters, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain Vigilance and Trample until end of turn. I want to only stop on the important cards. If it's just something that's a reprint, I'm not going to talk about all of them. I'm just going to talk about the newer cards. Astra of the Endless Web, Deep Forest Hermit, Husky, Bearer of Secrets, Beastmaster Ascension. This card's a fantastic reprint for a green and 2 generic. It's a enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks, you may put a quest counter on this card. And then as long as this card has 7 or more quest counters on it, creatures get +5/+5. It's a great reprint. Second Harvest. For each token you control, create a token that's a copy of that permanent. Shamanic Revelation. Chatterfang, Squirrel General. This is a fantastic reprint. In fact, this could be used as the actual commander for the deck. Chatterfang, Squirrel General is a 1 green 2 generic for a 3/3 legendary creature. Squirrel Warrior has Forest Walk, so this creature can't be blocked as long as the defending player has a forest. If you have 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, create those tokens plus that many 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens instead. 1 black, sacrifice X squirrels. Target creature gets +X -X till end of turn. Casualties of War. Nice little removal spell. 2 green, 2 black, 2 generic. Choose 1 or more. Destroy target artifact, destroy target creature, destroy target enchantment, destroy target land, and destroy target planeswalker. 1 Gracious Judgment. A black, a green, and 3 generic for any number of opponents. Destroy target non-land permanent that player controls. You can destroy quite a few things there, especially at instant speed. Maskwood Nexus. For 4 generic mana, it's an artifact. Creatures you control are every creature type. That is the same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. 3, and tap creature, create a 2/2 shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. It's every creature type. Academy Manufacturer. For 3 generic mana, it's a 1/3 creature. It's an artifact creature assembly worker. If you would create a clue, food, or treasure token, instead create 1 of each. Nice little reprint there. Temple of Malady, Woodland Cemetery, Necroblossom Snarl, Orlon Reef, the Vast Wood. This one's cool. Enters the battlefield taps to reduce green mana, tap put a +1/+1 counter on each green creature that entered the battlefield this turn. Swarm Yard, Exotic Orchard, nice little reprint there. Llanowar Waste, Grim Backwoods, Viridescent Bog, Twilight Mire, Gilded Goose. It's a nice little mana dork there. For a green, it's a 0/2 creature bird with flying, and as it enters the battlefield, you get to create a food token. And then you can pay a green and pay 1 generic and tap to create a food token, or you can tap, sacrifice a food, add 1 mana of any color. Chitter Spitter. For 1 green, 2 generic for an artifact. It's at the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice a token. If you do, put an acorn counter on Chitter Splitter. Squirrels you control get +1/+1 for each acorn counter on this card. And then pay a green and tap, create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. Maelstrom Pulse. Maelstrom Pulse. 1 green, 1 black, 1 generic, sorcery. Destroy target non-land permanent and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent. Baldur's Witherbloom. For green, a black, and 5 generic for a 4/4 legendary creature Elder Dragon. Flying. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token. When this creature dies, you gain a life. Pay 10 life, untap all lands you control. Activate only once each turn. Idol of Oblivion. Nice little include in this deck for 2 generic mana. It is a artifact that taps to draw a card. Activate only if you've created a token this turn. Pay 8 and sacrifice this card. Create a 10/10 Eldrazi creature token. Sword of the Squeak. This is an interesting card. Pay 2 generic mana for an artifact equipment. It costs 2 to equip. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control with base power and toughness of 1. When a hamster, mouse, rat, or squirrel you control enters, you may attach a Sword of Squeak to that creature. Or Morbid Opportunists, Plaguecrafter, Nadir's Nightblade, Plum the Forbidden, Bastion of Remembrance, Cash Grab, Chatterstorm. It's a common, but I'm going to go over it. A green and 1 generic for a sorcery. Create a 1/1 squirrel, green squirrel creature token. Has Storm. Whenever you cast a spell, copy it for each spell you've cast before this turn. So it might be able to generate 3 or 4 or even more squirrels. Just depends on how many spells you've already cast that turn. Moldavine Reclamation, Poison Tip Archer, Ravenous Squirrel, Skyfish Spider, Binding of the Old Gods, Golgari Rotfar, Jungle Hollow, Hunted Mire, Nested Shambler, Deadly Dispute, Zelaport Cutthroat, Squirrel Sovereign, nice little anthem effect for your squirrels, Prosperous Innkeeper, Haywire Might, Tyler's Provisioner. Tyler's Provisioner is a great card. It's an uncommon. I'm going to go over it though. 1 green, 2 generic for a 3/2 creature elf scout. Landfall. Whenever land control enters the battlefield, you get to create a food or a treasure token. Squirrel Nest. Honored Dray Leader. Terra Asunder. Wolf Willow Haven. Putrefy. Arcane Signet, nice little artwork there. Golgari Signet, Talisman of Resilience, Soul Ring, Skull Clamp, great way of drawing cards in this deck. Terramorphic Expanse, Path of Ancestry, Evolving Wilds, Command Tower, Tranquil Thicket, Bajuka Bog, Tainted Wood, Barren Moor, and I bet the rest are going to be basic lands, some forests, and the rest are tokens. Squirrel Treasure, Squirrel Treasure, Squirrel Food, Eldrazi, Clue, Pest, Shapeshifter, Spider, Blood, Human Soldier, Wolf, Rat, Raccoon, Rat, Raccoon, Goat, Wolf, and of course a nice little card for telling you how to keep your order of, fine formats and on what you do on your turn. And finally, we have the little bonus pack. See if you get cards that actually work for the deck, or if it's just random. Gurch. Patchwork Recruit. Patchwork Recruit is 1 green for a 2/1 creature rabbit warrior with offspring of 2. So when it comes into play, you can pay 2 mana to create a token that's a copy of it, but it's only a 1/1. This card has trample, and whenever a creature you control becomes a target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control other than that creature. And the second one is just a foil uncommon, Furious Forger. Squirrel Druid, hey, it matters. And of course, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, hope you have a fantastic week. And remember to keep it rolling.
And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please take the time to like the video and subscribe if you'd like to stay updated. Have a great day and keep them rolling.